here to go through our, what is that?
Newlyweds Part Two.
Our Newlyweds Part Two, yes. And we are in onesies today because of Sequina.
Because it's the morning and this is what we do.
Yeah.
Every other morning. Well, I like to come home from work and put on my onesie.
She does do that lately.
And my mom got them for us for Christmas, and I absolutely love my onesies.
They are very warm.
Little fox on mine.
I don't know what I am. I think I may be a little bear. I'm not sure.
Okay. But coincidentally, the song you walk down the aisle to is on playing right now.
It is. So we have our tips for our wedding tips, and it's on our phone. The first tip is find a good venue.
Yes, agreed. We used the Lost at Castleberry Hill, downtown Atlanta, because they were a venue that did not charge a fee.
A rental fee
for the venue. So they were basically how their space works. You can rent half for $2,500. And when I say $2,500, not to rent the space, but you have a food and beverage minimum that has to meet $2,500. We did the whole space, which is $1,000 down, $5,000 to rent the whole venue, and then you had to have a food and drink minimum about a $5,000.
So the $5,000 was just to meet the food and drink minimum,
right? Which you're gonna definitely go over, only because they charge you per person for food. If you do an alcohol consumption package, they charge you for that, and then once the taxes and everything.
For bartenders, tax,
courtesy officers, all that, you're gonna get, maybe in the high sevens.
Yeah.
On a typical wedding there, if you have about 100 people, you're gonna probably spend over $7,500 for the space.
So what was good about that venue space is that they did include the tables, they included chairs, they had an in-house chef, so they provided the food and the alcohol, as Sequina went over. Additional expenses that we had to do is that we were not in love with their chairs, so we did rent our own chairs, Chivari chairs, and we also rented long tables as well, just because we wanted a certain layout. So those were additional expenses that we did have to go.
And it does come with like tablecloths and things like that.
Oh yeah, they had their own tablecloths.
So that's some of the
utensils, plates, which were awesome. Some places do not provide any of that. So my best tip is when you're looking for venues, to find a place that takes care of everything. That you love their chairs, you love their tables, their tablecloths, utensils, plates, everything, the works.
Yes, I agree.
One other tip that we did is that if you notice, our cake was cupcakes. A lot of places charge, $2, I think, to cut cake per person.
There was a set fee of $75.
Okay, and I've seen some places do like a per person, which is a running theme with weddings, per person.
But so we just did the 2-layer cakes. The one top layer, of course, is the one that we'll cut on our 1-year anniversary.
Yes, that we saved.
Second one we cut just for picture purposes, and then the cupcakes were, we did 6 dozen cupcakes.
Let's see. Our next tip is the guest list.
Ding, 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 ding. We started off with like 75 people. And then, like, as we really started to break it down, who we needed at our wedding and who wanted to come and who was able to come, it was about 100 people. Just like Jamila said, with the running theme, you're paying per person. So just be mindful that you're not going to get 100% participation. I think we invited about 100 people. We paid per person for 100 people, and only 90 showed up. So we lost about, the cost of 10 people not showing up. So just make sure
Which
that...
was still a good turnout. It was still a great turnout.
Yeah, so just be mindful that even if you're ever invited to a wedding, if you RSVP, just make sure that, you can make it, because people do pay per person. But never pay... Like, when we set the goal at $100, we could afford... 100 people, we could afford that. So just make sure that whatever your guest list is, make sure that you can afford the loss and the cost.
That you're not overextending. My tip would be I always thought in the beginning that there would be some people who didn't come just because things come up. Maybe you get sick, your kids get sick. It's some unavoidable things that happen. So what I would always say is just to give your venue maybe 5 or 10 people less than what is on your list. And then maybe if those people do come, you may have to
pay on the back end.
But most people that I talk to, it's usually about 10 to 14 people that don't show up for their wedding. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, this is my favorite song. Okay. Tip number 3 is DIY, do it yourself.
Okay, so we're gonna actually just show you guys a couple of things that we did and give you guys give people some shout outs and credit, because a lot of people did help us with our DIY. One of the biggest things that you guys must know that we did was the paper flowers. Yes. We had paper flower parties.
Our friends are probably tired of paper flowers because they helped.
Yeah, so our bridal party and our close friends helped us do the paper flowers. Our wedding decorator, Lakeisha, she's actually on Wedding Wire now by Sharp Designs by Lakeisha. She put together our flower board. She gave us all the inspiration, came over here and taught everybody. Yes. So, babe, want to show them one of your creative flowers?
This is one of the paper flowers. This is one that didn't make it to the wedding. And this was everyone's favorite.
Yes.
But what happened? It fell off in your car?
It fell off in my car.
So, but this one, this one I made by myself. It probably took me around an hour and a half just to make this one. All the other ones don't take that long. That's why this one.
Hour and a half.
Yeah, this one took a long time because I had to cut out every single one and roll every single one. Okay. It was pretty intense, and it didn't even make it to the wedding. But now it's just gonna be decoration in our house.
Yes. So those were the paper flowers. We did an invitation party.
Yes.
We'll also shout out to our bridal party and our friends that came through for our little assembly line.
So this part is upside down.
That's okay. Well, we created the little bands that said J and S on them to hold everything together.
The invitation was from Etsy, but we did have to
send it to Vistaprint to print them. So this was just a simple Etsy digital file, and we printed it out front and back. And then again, Lakeisha, our wedding decorator, she did our details card. So basically the details card just was our hashtag, our wedding website, the dress code, and adult and invite only. The dress code was creative black tie, which I guess confused a bunch of people. You know, black tie is normally black suits, white shirts, bow tie. Women wear cocktail gowns. When I meant creative black tie, I mean get into your colors. If you want to wear green suit, burgundy gown, just like that. So that was just the creative black tie. And then we sent our RSVPs off in already labeled envelopes. We actually put stamps, but this is like a mock-up one. We put stamps, so people, all you had to do is fill out the RSVP
card and send it back.
Yes, so that was that. Another thing that we got from Vistaprint, we printed. What did you get these from?
This I got from Wedding Chicks. They have a lot of free invitations. They have a lot of free programs. So we did that and sent that to Vistaprint as well.
So this was our wedding program, very basic, just one side. It had the order of our ceremony and everybody that was in our wedding party.
And Vistaprint is awesome just because they cut out everything for you versus our invitations. We had a lineup of people cutting out invitations, people pasting invitations, people doing this, people doing that. Vistaprint's easy just because everything's cut already for you.
We also did table numbers. We got these frames from IKEA for $1, and we actually found the numbers in Target for $1, like within like a year before we got married.
This is one of the first things
we messed up because we only thought we were gonna have 8 tables, and then we ended up having 13. So I had to order some, and then it was just a big thing with the lady from Etsy there. I don't recommend her shop, but you know. She was able to make something similar but small, and there was just a debate about that, so I didn't get my money back. I had to deal with the small ones.
Oh, man.
Okay, so then our friends Kelly and Nicole in Texas, they got married last year as well.
Yeah, so they helped us out a lot.
Yeah, so go ahead, babe.
One of the things we wanted to make sure is that people knew our tag on Instagram. So what Kelly was able to do is print out these tags, and we were able to just get these frames from Dollar Tree.
Yep, for $1.
Yeah, for $1. And then what they also did, they came to visit, and we all hung out. And I don't want to say we put them to work because we didn't, but they did make us this card box, which we absolutely loved.
Yes, the card box was awesome. Yeah. I broke into it the first night. We had tons of cards.
I know she wanted to break into the card box the night of the wedding.
Then what else do we have over there? Our guest book was just from Target. They were like $3.99 a piece. We did the wooden letters. Back to Lakeisha, for our big centerpieces, she just we got these big things from IKEA for about $20. These big vases, and then I went to Hobby Lobby, which is the bomb, and got some. They were 50% off the ornaments, so I spent about $12 for the ornaments. And she just did 3 of these big vases and filled them with ornaments, and then the hydrangeas set on the top.
The flowers we ordered in bulk from Sam's Club, which when I was doing research, that was really the cheapest option. If you know someone who can arrange flowers, that's really good. And with the flower that we chose, because it's an open flower, there wasn't too much arrangement of it. Versus if you get roses or something else. But if you do not know how to arrange flowers, then a florist might be your best bet. They're just more expensive.
And then I'll let you talk about this one.
So one of my friends from work, she actually helped created a similar sign like this for my bridal shower, and she also created this sign for our cocktails. And so what she did is just ordered a regular frame, and she used chalkboard paint and painted drink names. We had 2 signature drinks, so our drink names were Jam Drop, a play on Lemon Drop, and then also a Cubarita, which is a play on Margarita.
All right, and then also from our good friend Etsy.
Yeah, we were really good friends with Etsy.
We did a digital welcome sign, the welcome to our wedding with the hashtag. Just a digital file for about $20, and then I just got it printed at Walgreens for about $15. I think it was a sale. One other thing that we did.
We did a lot of things.
We did a lot of things. We did. The last thing, like, along with our welcome sign, we did print out one of our pictures. You guys probably can't see, but we did a huge printout of ourselves right next to the welcome sign. So that was pretty good. And then I got the frame 50% off at Michael's, which was about $20.
We lived in Michael's and Hobby Lobby.
So that was really all of our DIY stuff.
Yeah, and along with DIY, which is also really good, is there are a lot of contests, bridal contests. I would definitely apply to them. It's a lot of Instagram. I won 2. I won one for $100 for XD, and the second one I won, it was Pinch Provisions. I'll do the link at the bottom, where it's just like an emergency kit for your day of.
So DIY, if you guys are on a budget or just creative, those are things that you could look into. You get it.
You get it. Tip 4 is your attire budget.
Yes. So wedding wear.
Yes. What I completely recommend is not trying on dresses out of your price range, because that may be the dress you fall in love with, and then if you fall in love with a $10,000 dress, what are you gonna do?
Either you're buying it or your feelings is hurt.
Yes,
really
because
hurt.
every dress you put on afterwards will just not be the same. So, because all dresses are not made alike. So, I had a set wedding dress budget, but then I didn't account for the alterations. So, because of how my dress was, and because I'm a bit top heavy, I had to order 2 sizes up and then have it altered down, which wasn't expensive the first time because they didn't have to go. My dress was a silk underneath and a lace overlay. The first time they didn't have to touch the lace, but the second and third time I had the dress altered because I lost additional weight, that got expensive. So my first set of alterations was $150. My second set was $350. So that's just something you want to take into account when you're picking the dress, and also the alterations, because if they actually have to go inside of that dress and change the structure, it will start getting expensive.
Yes, and then also, as you guys remember from the previous videos, with my girls, with the suits that we ordered, they had to do alterations. And alterations for a suit jacket can run you about $45 to $50. Pants, $20. Any adjustments to the sleeves can be as low as like $18. But some of my people did spend $90 on alterations for a shirt, jacket, and pants. So just alterations is something to keep in mind, because if you do find something that you really love and maybe it's a little too big, consider alterations. Don't exit out. Just try going. And again, we did all our alterations at K&G.
Yep, and that's also something you want to take into account for the bridal dresses, because I knew I didn't want my bridesmaids' dresses to be too expensive, but then I didn't think about how much the alterations would be if maybe some of my girls are the same height, not the same, they're a little taller than me, but to hem the dress, and that was maybe additional $20-$30 on top of purchasing the dress.
Yes.
Those are all things you want to take into account. Also, when you have your budget, you also want to count shoes. I wouldn't recommend super expensive shoes that are not comfortable, because you will spend hours in these shoes.
Yes, my shoes were comfortable and I spent a penny on them, but you know, I planned for that. I knew my shoes were gonna cost the most out of my whole ensemble, so.
And my shoes were both, I had two shoes. I had heels and then just flip-flops for the end of the day. They were both INC Inc. from Macy's, and I got those on sale. And they were super comfortable. Tip 5 is day of shenanigans.
Yes. For me, I had smooth sailing. I just told everyone to meet me at the hotel at 1. We all got ready together. My photographer and videographer was there to catch some moments of us getting ready, and then we did some photos downtown in the street. It was seamless. Everything was pretty much seamless. Everybody arrived on time, and we got her done. I was on time for my first look. I was a little early.
Yeah, I was the late one. My day of shenanigans, most of my girls spent the night with me, so we woke up and I was getting my hair done first thing in the morning. Everyone had their time for their makeup, which everyone was, again, on time, which was awesome. The only thing is that I probably wish I had accounted more time to get ready, to take pictures, because we didn't get any get ready pictures. But I mean, my picture that I absolutely wanted for my get ready, for our first look, was amazing. Like me on the stairs and Sequina standing right by me. That was, if I only had that picture, I would have been okay.
I hate that picture. For me personally, I look crazy, but whatever. Yeah, so day of, you gonna tell about your timeline?
Yes, before I get to the timeline, I also want to say, for the day of, if your girls are going to be with you the whole day, you have to make sure you feed them. So funny story is, two of my bridesmaids went and got out breakfast, and they also went out and got lunch at the same time, just so that we would have breakfast and lunch. So the girls eat, everything's fine. We also had mimosas for everyone. And so when we go off for the first look, what they later tell me is that Sequina's girls knocked on the door and they were like, "We heard it's lunch in here." So we were able to buy lunch and feed everyone, which was really just sandwiches from Publix, which wasn't expensive, but it's good just to make sure that everyone's eating, because you do tend to drink a lot.
So I feel bad. I didn't buy my girls lunch. I should have.
Well, they weren't with you the whole day, like how mine were. We were like in makeup for hours. Tip 6 is timeline. If Sequina her whole thing was the guest list. Her whole thing was the guest list and the seating chart. She was taking care of that every single day. She was making changes to that. My baby was the timeline. I had a separate timeline for me, for my girls. I had a timeline for our parents. I had a timeline for our photographer and videographer. And it's not because I thought the day would go perfect, because naturally things will come up. But I just wanted everyone to know the flow of the day. Did I mess up some things on the timeline? Like I said, I wish I would have accounted more time for our get ready photos, but it's some things you don't know until you go through it. But I really suggest making a timeline of things that you really want to get done that day.
And then we had a coordinator, Trey Morris, so she was legit. Like, she made sure everything went through seamlessly. She was,
the whole day.
Check, even when we got to the wedding in the midst of the party, she's like, okay, let's do the garter bell, let's do the bouquet toss. So she was good. So I definitely suggest getting a day of coordinator. We were fortunate enough to have Trey work with us the whole time of the wedding. So when she got on board, it relieved a lot of stress for Jamila. So Trey is awesome. Anybody in Atlanta planning a wedding, if you need the wedding coordinator and decorator, we're going to put their information below, but inbox me, whatever, because,
they're amazing.
They're amazing. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed.
I didn't worry about anything any timeline issues. I did not worry about. I was not calling Trey.
I was calling Trey.
You were calling her?
And I was like, "Did you get the programs?"
I didn't know
this person texted me today and said they're not coming to the wedding. Can you add this person, this, that? So I was harassing Trey. Trey was like, "Q, see you when you get here."
I only made 2 phone calls to her. One was about the hotel, and then the second phone call was I knew I hadn't heard from 2 of our vendors, so I just called her. They were supposed to meet us at the hotel, so I just called her and said, "Hey, have you heard from them?" She said, "Yeah," and that was it. So it was a pretty seamless day. Our last tip is marriage over wedding.
Yes. So I think a lot of people, and you know, get caught up in the glitz and the glams of having a wedding. It is an eventful day. You know, you plan years to, you know, have this one day. But what people need to understand, what's important is the marriage. Because after the day you spent your money, the next day you wake up to this person that you have committed to spend the rest of your life. So you really have to know, like, you know, we did a lot of things to get us prepared for. We went, you know, we did the counseling 3 months prior to getting married. We already lived together. We paid bills together, have insurance together.
Yeah, so we already combined a lot of our finances.
So, you know, it was an easy transition for us. You know, not saying that this ride is going to be perfect, but, you know, we were prepared already to start living our lives as a married couple. Yeah, so
about that.
I think that's very important. A wedding is fun, yes.
It was fun. It was the best day of our lives.
One of the best days of my life. But, you know.
What was the other best day of your life?
I'm sorry, it was the best day of my life. But, you know, so just keep in mind that through the midst of all the planning and the fun stuff that you're dedicating your life to someone else. Like, it's not.
And that's the serious part of it.
And like I said in Love Esteem, if y'all ever watch that, you are responsible for someone else's happiness. So
we'll put that link below too, so you can catch that, because we did that many months ago. So it's fun to see. One good thing about the videos is that it's fun to see how we evolve over this year that we've been planning the wedding. But yes, we sacrificed a lot.
Yes.
For the wedding, and we will continue for our marriage to sacrifice and to give it a word, God. Give it a word. To. It starts with a C.
What?
To sacrifice, and it starts with a C.
Well, what? She doesn't know. The sacrifice and.
You know when you don't get your own way, so you have to do what?
Compromise.
We will continue to sacrifice and compromise.
Yes. So. This is the last video that we're going to do about the wedding, because, you know, it's time for us to move on to the next chapters in our life. But
I don't mind talking about the wedding, so if you want me to do videos about it, I don't mind.
So just remember that once we get the wedding footage from the videographer, we will definitely share the link for that.
Yes, we will.
But other than that, I know a lot of people have been messaging that they're planning to propose to someone or engage in wedding planning.
Oh, I love reading those.
I'm definitely want to give you guys all the good luck and all the positive energy.
Yes.
Happy planning, happy life, happy wife.
Yes, all of the above.
So, again, if you guys have any one-off questions about your process or anything, we're definitely here for you guys. Yes. Like, share. Shout out to everybody that shares our links all the time on Facebook.
Thank you.
If I can give special shouts out to Jasmine and Cynthia. You guys always are the first one sharing, so we definitely appreciate you guys. Thanks to everybody at our mom's job who always want these videos. We're doing this for you guys.
And more regularly.
We're going to do that, so thank you again for the support. I promise you guys it means a lot to us. And listen.
We've had a furry friend in this whole video.
Hi, baby. Say hi to the camera. Say hi. Hi. So she doesn't want to say
You don't want to say hi.
But yeah, so again, guys, thanks again for watching.
See you later.
All right, have a good one.
Bye.